With the votes counted and results declared, the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State, southwest of Nigeria, has been celebrating the re-election for a second term in office of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. He comfortably won in 15 out of 18 local government areas of the state, leaving only 3 for Atai Ojegede, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Joining us now to look at all that happened during that election is Steve Otaloro, Director, Media and Publicity of the All Progressives Congress, Ondo State Chapter. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. Steve Otaloro, thank you for joining us. Are you with us?
It's a pleasure. Good morning.
Okay, thank you for
joining
us.
Yes, I'm hearing
First,
you very well.
Congratulations to your principal, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN, and also to all of you who worked with him to gain this victory. But what's the way forward now? What should we expect? The governor has said very nice things about Atai Ojegede, SAN. What are his sentiments about his former deputy, who was a candidate of the ZLP? I'm referring to Agbola Ajayi.
Well, let me first say that we are very humbled for the people of Ondo State for giving us this overwhelming victory. So we're most grateful. And like the governor said, he is not just going to be the governor of All Progressive Party, he's going to be the governor for the overall state. So the concern is not just for our party right now, as he's going to continue in the path of progress that he has been leading ever since he came into saddle some 3.5 years ago. So the issue of Agbola Ajayi, like you said, it's Agbola Ajayi to us, it's an issue we've left behind. We are moving forward. It's not left for him to respect the people that voted for him as Deputy Governor of Ondo State and be in the same league with his principal. So we can't force him to do anything. Now that it's obvious that he has lost this election, we sincerely hope he will be back with the governor to work for the good people of Ondo State.
Well, we hope so too. We hope for harmony in Ondo State. But now that Mr. Talk and Do, as he's called, has been given a second term, what are his priorities at this point?
Yes, the priorities is straightforward. He said it. He has some legacy project he wants to leave behind. He's constructing a 30-kilometer road over the Atlantic from Ondo State straight to Lekki in Lagos. This is a priority project. He equally said that if this is going to be the only thing he's going to achieve as governor of Ondo State, Ondo Port is going to achieve it. Ondo Port, for the fact that we have the longest coastline in the whole of the Federation, we don't have a port. The governor felt this is not right. Ever since all the documentation and every research work, feasibility study, everything has been done. So he's so passionate about having an Ondo port. These are other things he wants to achieve within his second term mandate. He equally wants to expand. You know, he has created a hub or an industrial hub that, as I speak, over seven companies are operating there. So he intends to equally reciprocate this in other senatorial districts, in the central and, of course, in the northern senatorial district. So these are huge projects that will generate employment. As I speak, more than 4,000 Ondo State people are working in our industrial hub. So he intends to replicate this in other senatorial districts. And Ondo State right now, he has turned Ondo State into one big octopus of construction site that nowhere you go in the whole of the state, there are no one ongoing project, construction work, or the other going on in the state. He wants to continue in this path of progress so that at the end of the day, Ondo State will be one state to reckon with in the Committee of States in Nigeria.
I mean, my ears popped when you talked about that road from Ondo directly across the Atlantic to Lekki, Lagos. Where is he going to see the money to do it? Even a state like Lagos that is quite big, that generates a lot internally generated revenue, we've just been talking about Fort Mainland Bridge for a long time. And that's going to be a colossal bridge. You know, when you look at it, it's thousands of kilometers we're talking about. I mean, that excites me. That's good. But how's he going to get the money to do it?
It's not thousands of kilometers, mind you. It's just like 45 kilometers from Araramiobu in Ondo State to Lekki. And
okay, great.
It's a partnership. You know, Ondo State is a member of the NDDC. So it's a partnership between Ondo State government and the NDDC. You know, like I told you, all the visibility studies has been done, everything. If not for the problem the NDC is going through, their forensic auditing, this road will have commenced. But everything being equal, we hope the road will kick off, the construction work will kick off anything from next year. So it's a multi-million naira project, like you said, but the NDDC and Ondo State are capable enough to achieve this. And like you said, Mr. Tokandu, if there's anything he cannot do, he won't go into it. He felt it's possible. He has looked at all the variables and what to make this happen. And that was why the MOU has been signed, visibility study concluded, so we are getting it on board. And I want to believe if this is done, it's actually opening up the Ondo State economy into a global economy, kind of, because it will be not easier for people coming from the east to go through Lagos from Ondo State rather than going through Ogun State to Lagos State. It will be very easy. And this road is one thing that will open up the state in a big way.
Well, Steve Otaloro, I like your optimism, but our viewers listening to you, when they hear NDDC, they will say, well, is Mr. Otaloro talking about the same NDDC and investing so much hope in NDDC with regard to this project? But, you know, the answer to that is up there in the air. And I wanted to ask you, the PDP Ondo State has made a statement to the effect that the party at the state level will study the results and then decide what the position of the party will be. Is your principal concerned that even in spite of the good relationship between him and the Itayo Jegede SAN, that the PDP could go to court to challenge the outcome of the October 10 gubernatorial election? Is this something that bothers him or is likely to bother him?
No, it's not in any way. It's not going to bother us as a political party. Neither will it bother the governor. You see, they won just 3 local government out of 18. That is the 2 Akure, where he actually come from, and Ifedore. So if you are going to court, you must have had a lot of evidence to show. This election was the most peaceful you can think of in the history of elections in this state. And of course, I want to believe INEC too will agree with us that it was well conducted, far ahead, better than that of Ondo State. So there are no crises anywhere, nothing to. And the people actually voted their mind in spite of inducement, you know, that we talked about days before the election, that we heard that the oppositions are planning to induce the electorate. And we quickly went on radio and local channels here to tell our people, collect their money if possible, but vote your conscience. We didn't even ask them to vote for us. We told them they should vote their conscience because we know the people are strongly with us. Akeredolu has, in the last 3.5 years, done a lot for the people of Ondo State to be given a second time. So when we heard about this, that they are talking about inducement, we told our people, yes, if that is the only way, the only way they think they could get to the Alagbaka government house, that would be very unfortunate. And the people are not stupid. Our people are highly sophisticated when it comes to politics, and they know who has been working for them in the last 3.5 years. Our PDP government was on the saddle for 8 years. They did nothing to improve the lots of the people. And within 3.5 years, Akeredolu have done a lot to improve the standard of living of the people of Ondo State and has created a lot of infrastructural development in the state that we knew if people will have their free will, they will definitely vote for us. And we are banking on that, we are counting on that. That was why we went with that message. Collect their money if possible, but vote for conscience. So if he goes to court, he tried it, this won't be the second, this will be the second time the senior advocate, Itayo Jegede, will be contesting with the governor. Even when they were in the saddle, we defeated them. Now that we are in charge and we have a lot of things to show for the people of Ondo State, what we've done in the last 3.5 years, we have a strong feelings that they are going to vote for us, and they did just that. So Ejitayo has no case. He should go to court, and we will even encourage him to do that so that it should, the defeat, we can now have a proper way to consolidate our victory at the end of the day by the court validating this.
Sorry to interrupt you. We need to take a short break as we go to our correspondent Leila Johnson-Salami, who is at the Lekki end of Lagos, filing in a report about NSAS protests in Lagos. Hi, Leila, good morning.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. We're here live at the Lekki toll gate, and protesters have been here since 4 a.m. The time now is 10 o'clock, nearly 10 o'clock on the dot, and the protests are continuing. Protesters say that regardless of SARS saying that they have, regardless of the IGP saying that SARS has been disbanded, that the protests have to continue because police brutality has not come to an end. There were so many reports yesterday, even an Arise cameraman who was attacked by the police. So protesters are here again today, as they are across other locations across the country, demanding for their rights. I do have a couple protesters that are also willing to speak to us on the morning show this morning. So I'm going to come right over here, first of all, to... What time did you guys get here this morning?
We've been here since 4 a.m. We've been here since 4 a.m. because we are pained, we are angry, we are the Nigerian youth. Our previous generation could not do anything about this. We've been facing oppression for years, and we decided that this is the time that we are going to end it.
So yesterday, the IGP came out to say that SARS has been disbanded. This is something we have heard on multiple occasions. Is that why you are back here again today?
It is audio because even in Ogbomoso, people were faced with live bullets. People were faced with live bullets in Ogbomoso. In Abuja, where 8 protesters were killed. People were killed yesterday, and yet you said that the SARS has been disbanded. We want a total overhaul of the police force.
What they said was SARS has been redeployed. These same people that were in SARS, you've just given them new uniforms and more power. That is all they did. They are not putting in place a disciplinary panel to solve what has been happening since all these days. No, they're just sending these people to different departments. So you're not really doing what we want.
Okay, so what are we calling for here today? What are we demanding?
We need the president. Hello. We elected the president. He is our president. This is our land. We are not a stranger. You cannot send IGP to address us. What happened to your mouth? Buhari, are you as in, what happened? We need the president to address us. Hello. We need Buhari to address us.
Okay, so there are several young people here today demanding that the president comes out to address Nigerians, saying rather that it's not enough for the IGP to come out yet again with his requests that have been the same year after year. So... Guys... Okay, I'm going to head back over to you in the studio because, as you can see, the protests are going on. There's not much that I can say. It's really rowdy here, so avoid the Lekki toll gate today unless you're coming out for the protests.
Very much. Leila Johnson Salamida. Hello, Mr. Otaloro. If you are still with us, it's still the morning show. Yes. Mr. Steve Otaloro is our guest. He's the media advisor to the APC in Ondo State. Now, Mr. Otaloro, I thought I heard you correctly when you said you told voters to collect their money and then vote their conscience. Would that not be interpreted as the APC also more or less encouraging and condoning electoral fraud or vote buying, which is an electoral offense? You mean you actually aided and abetted by encouraging them, the voters?
No, not exactly, no. When we had that news, 2 days to the election, that the oppositions are mobbing up funds to induce the electorate, I think the only thing we could do in that respect is to now educate the people. While doing that, we equally inform them that we had that so is going to happen at the day of the election. We now told them, if possible, if you can't swallow that, don't have that, it's quite tempting. Let's be frank. Going by especially after the pandemic, how things have turned out to be in the country, to ask a man that will be giving money not to. We told them, if you can't afford not to collect this money, please collect it and vote your conscience. That was what we told them. We didn't, as I said, we didn't ask them to vote for us. We said they should vote for conscience.
Vote buying is a crime. Article 130
I quite agree with
of
you.
the Electoral Act
I agree with you.
carries a sentence of 12 months in prison or a fine of 100,000 naira, which brings me to my question. Can we really say that this election, obviously you're basking in your victory at this moment, but can we really say that this election was free in the sense of the word, because money exchanged hands, and fair, because both sides are trading blame on the vote buying issue? APC is also accused of vote buying. And can we talk about vote buying as an offense and a threat to the democratic process?
Yes, absolutely, vote buying is an offense. It's something we don't condone in our party. We've driven this campaign with issue-based. There's no way you could go in Ondo State whereby there's a completed project by this administration or an ongoing one. So we have a lot to sell for the people of Ondo State. As much as we are striving that our message will resonate with them, if this happens, we know they are going to vote for us eventually. But when you start hearing people campaigning on issue of inducing voters, what are we going to do? Like I told you, it's like asking a man that is hungry not to eat. So in that respect, the only thing we could do, for God's sake, is just to try to tell them, the educated ones will not go for that, and people with a lot of awareness will not go for that. But you see, the poverty has become something that the opposition wants to capitalize on. After the pandemic, let's all be frank, things have not been the same. A lot of institutions have been closed. Private schools has been closed. Salaries, the teachers are not getting salary and stuffs like that. They are using this opportunity to reach out to the electorate by inducing them. We told them, don't collect this money. That was the first thing we told them. We know the elites, the well-to-do will not collect it. But we are equally looking at the poorer ones in the society. That was why we told them, collect the money if possible, but please vote your conscience. So it's a serious crime. And they call it, there's a code name for it here in Ondo State, Diboko Sebe. The PDP government started this. They were the one that used this, in an election when they were in the saddle to lure people. It's a bad precedent they've set up. And that is the trend they are still continuing with, even when they are no more in government. Well, you see, we believe it's one area the INEC should look seriously into, so that all the gains they've achieved all these years should not be destroyed by this singular effort that started in Ondo State some years back by the PDP administration, inducement of voters. It's one area I think the electorate should look into, the INEC should look into, to destroy it before it gets worse.
Well, Mr. Otaloro, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and thank you for adding to the lexicon on vote buying in Nigeria. You say Diboko Sebe. That is vote and prepare a pot of soup as a result of that. In some places, they say, Jemsoke.
That is what the PDP has been using in Ondo State.
Well, I think hopefully someday Nigerians hopefully one day will move beyond that.
In Ondo State.
Yes. Thank you very much.